everyone, it's me, that Lego guy. Today I'll be showing off a Clone Wars mock of mine. And really, I did do a bit of a tease of this in around March, but back then it was a lot different because, actually this is kind of an old mock, kind of a new one. I will explain. But first things first, I gave it this nice black border design, like the actual LEGO Star Wars dioramas. I didn't have enough of these pieces to put silver rails all around the way, but for where it's meant to like be the front of it, I put it on black shelves. Actually, I can show you guys. The way that it fits on this shelf is there's like only this part that sticks out, the rest of it is like pretty snugly in there. So on the side that you get to see, it quite makes sense to put it with only those two grills. And this has a total of 7 minifigures, 1 custom tactical droid, 1 custom crab droid, and 1 custom droidica. Also with strewn about droid parts down here. I don't know the amount of pieces because I wasn't counting, and I keep on changing positions of stuff and posing. Like the crab droid I added just a few days ago before I was going to film this. And stuff like here, we got some pretty common things like, oh yeah, fire. And some pretty rarer things like these Imperial crates. They're only in 2 sets, the Armor Marauder and the TIE Bomber from January. So, yeah. And I'd say, first of all, let's take a look at all the figures. But let's take a look at the figures right now. First of all, we just have a simple 501st Trooper. These are the ones from the 2020 501st Battle Pack. So, most likely if you like LEGO Star Wars, you got that Battle Pack, so you have one of these. Pretty simple. And the head underneath is just the standard clone head. Nothing special about them. Next up, I'll do another one that's not really modified at all, but his accessory will make sense, or if you already asked in the mock. This is a bit of a barricade. I had to use the clip that was holding it up for another project. Ooh, bumped the camera there. Sorry about that. But yeah, other than that, he just has the torso with the blue arms and the helmets with the antenna hole and the standard head from the January 501st Battle Pack, but the legs are just the regular ones, I think from the Specialist figure or something like that, was where I got them. Same rifle that this Specialist has. So nothing really special about him either, other than, again, his random part there, which will make sense later. Next up, this is going to be like a more hardcore custom, Commander Gregor. He is my favorite clone, unapologetically. He's got a pretty cool weapon. It's different because this is normally supposed to be a stamp piece, as you'll see with another figure I have. But instead it is a stud head still in black, though, with a hole in it, which, again, you'll see in the mock when I put it back together with the figures on it. And speaking of which, here's the other figure. It's just a standard Clone Commando. And oh, wait, I just realized. I should probably tell you guys how to make Gregor if you want. It's pretty simple. Head doesn't really matter, it's in a head and it's in a helmet, but I just used the same new clone head. Helmet, I took one of the Jedi and Clone Battle Pack helmets, sanded down the top, used Sharpie to customize it. Arms, I got them from Gone Golf and President Business, but they're also on Homer Simpson, and I don't remember what else, but I know something. Then the torso, waist piece, legs, they all come, and the hands too, come from the Imperial Mortar Trooper and the Armored Marauder. It just recently retired, but you can get it on sale for like 30 to 40 bucks, which is its retail, at places like Kohl's and maybe Target.com or Walmart. But he has one of the First Order jetpack pieces from the Pisana Speeder Chase, and a 1x1 tile that also comes in the January Battle Pack. So yeah, pretty simple custom, at least for the, unless you're counting the helmet really, but yeah, it's nice. He's my favorite clone. Now back to the one that I had to come back to Gregor instead of doing this one. This is another custom, arms from the series, I think it's 14 or 15 Chef figure. Legs from a First Order Stormtrooper, again from Pisana Speeder Chase specifically. Then a torso from, again, Pisana Speeder Chase, funnily enough, where it had a jetpack trooper in it, the only regular one, not our Sith trooper one. Backpack piece, I just stole this from the Imperial Mortar Trooper I had left over after making Gregor. Helmet, it is a white Iron Man one. I got off a Snow Iron Man, and again, the helmet's just, the head is just the regular new clone head, so there's that. Then, another one of my favorite clones. This is Jesse of the 501st Legion. And he fought alongside Captain Rex. He almost stopped Order 66 in one Clone Wars arc, so that's pretty cool. He's got the legs from the officer. That's why he didn't have the proper legs earlier. So there's that. The torso and helmet are from the jetpack trooper from the original 501st Battle Pack, not the January one. Head, again, standard one. Then a gray neck bracket piece with a gray 1x2 tile and then a dark gray 1x2 grill piece. And then he has some sand blue arms, black hands, and then 2 of the standard small pistols, which I feel like they work really well with him. So, there's that. And then second to last here, I have just a random clone that I built out of spare parts. This is a back tile piece from a snowtrooper as well as the base. Then I had 2 white studs to get more substance. Then as well, a white neck bracket piece. Pretty useful for clones and stormtroopers and stuff like that, if you have any of them, but they're kind of rare-ish. Torso is from a First Order Stormtrooper. I didn't have a helmet for him, so I just gave him the standard clone head and then the standard clone hair if there was one, because it's perfect for them. Arms and black hands from Monica Rambeau, or the black hands I added because they're pretty simple, as well as a small pistol. Not his main weapon, which again you will see when I put it back together. But he has arms from Monica Rambeau from the Marvel CMF. Legs from the Stormtrooper as well, but waist piece from the one of the Quantum Realm Avengers suits. I just thought that fit better. And then, I believe in my old series I did that was short-lived, that was random Clone Wars stuff. So, there's that, and I built a minigun for this guy. This is just the standard 501st Heavy Trooper from the January Battle Pack. But this is a very nice design. I gave him a brown core because it looks more like it's overheating, kind of. But it's pretty simple. If I didn't do that, or you guys want another tutorial on its own, I can make its own video for this 501st Trooper, or just really this Heavy Trooper minigun design. It's pretty nice, plus it has this bubble shield in front of it. So yeah, that concludes the figures. Well, let's take a look at the droids. Now let's take a look at the droids. First up, we have a tactical droid, which I already showed off in a prior series, random Clone Wars stuff. So, again, I might link that somewhere in the iCard of the video. I don't know. But yeah, this is a slightly different one. I changed it so the arms up here were dark gray instead of light gray. I changed it from a brick where it has studs on 2 sides to all 4 sides. So there's one on the back that I don't use, but I want to add this so it looks like it's been shot and there's sparks flying out of it. Or it's on fire, as you will see is a possibility based off of the MOC. And then also this leg is broken, so it's only the top part, not the foot. And it's in gold, so it's like melted or something. So that's the tactical droid. Now let's take a look at another one that I've kind of shown off before, which is my Droideka. This is a custom design. Again, I can do a how to build a video specifically going piece by piece in it, so there's that. But really, it's quite simple, or not simple, but it's pretty accurate in my mind. It's pretty good. Can't fold into a ball, but no Lego Droidekas can effectively, really. So, yeah, it even has this satellite distribution trans blue as its shield. So I have that. And it has 2 claws that are accurate on the front 2 legs, but the back one has a stamp piece, so I could connect it to a stud. So it's not just falling around all over the place. So, yeah, it's a pretty nice design in my mind. And now, for the one that I built specifically for this MOC, a crab droid, mostly shown on Utapau, but in several other arcs in the Clone Wars show, so I can't even really show it off on here, if I'm being honest, so give me a sec to figure that out. Alright, I figured it out. I just can't use the turntable for this, so I'll just use it manually. Yeah, it's mainly a design of dark gray with maroon, with some silver and gold on it, and some trans red and light gray for the guns underneath. Well, first of all, it's a crab droid. It has 6 legs, and in its top here, you'll see this for the regular clone that I had no weapon. He's for this. He's supposed to be shooting on it like shown in Utapau in Revenge of the Sith. One clone does it in kind of the background, kind of the foreground, so it's like the mid-ground, really, but yeah, I can post them better for when I put them all back on the MOC to show that, but yeah. It also has the guns underneath, which have a cool thing I have for them in the MOC. Legs can move up and down. They all are on hinges here, so they're quite easy to use. So, yeah, it's a pretty nice design of mine that I was able to whip up. And now, let's put everything back together. Quick break here from the time-lapse to show what I meant by the guns have a cool part on the crab droid is I have springless shooter missiles as shown in last week's Jango Fett MOC. So that way it looks like it's shooting out. So pretty cool, right? Okay, two small things to bug you with. First, I said this wasn't this guy's main weapon, the pistol, because it's actually this rocket launcher here. I had a bunch of gray red studs to represent like fire, and then gray studs to represent smoke afterwards, so it would stay balanced on it. And you can just hold it right there. Also, with Gregor, I said his gun was different because, same as the Jango Fett MOC and the crab droid, it has blue, which is the color of his blaster bolt, so it looks like he's shooting it out. Cool, huh? And here's the MOC all put together. First, let's take a look at the droid side of things. Alrighty, here's the droid side of things. You can see, or let me rotate it for a sec. You can see I have the tactical droid starting to like stoop over and fall because he's been shot and there's sparks. Plus there's a rocket coming at him. And also I'm counting this as part of the bag of the droid side. I have little parts of droids scattered about here. Here's a regular tan torso with a rocket, so it's a jetpack trooper with a silver arm, so it's a cool rocket droid. Then here's this guy on the crab droid, which is like pouncing but kind of bouncing itself so it can shoot, but it's also flailing in pain. Droideca's just pretty basically like placed there. Then right there's an arm carrying a gun, and then here's a white burnt torso with a gray arm, so it's like charred. And also I'll do the middle section. You can see I have studs piled up, plus also parts, because this is meant to be lava. This is originally just meant to be like a planet with a base on it. Instead, I heavily changed, so now it's more so just an open battlefield with a lava river, so it could be moved far, but the Republic never really was there. It was more so separatists, you know, Cad Bane kidnapped kids there. Again, watch Clone Wars, really. It's great. But yeah, I got a mix of regular orange and highlighter orange for, like, lava bursting up. Might change it over time, but I like it pretty good for now. Now let's take a look at the good guy side of things. Now let's look at the side of the heroes, or clones, or whatever you want to say. First of all, here, this guy, you can see that's where I had a clip for this, but I changed my mind on it and had him just holding it, because I tried to build, like, a front line for them to hold down, like, mismatch bit, like right there, some chains right in front of the minigun guy with his force field. There's a little rock popping up for Gregor to stand on and shoot at the Droideca's shield. They're all posed. He actually has his rangefinder down because he has his rifle on him. You got the droids crawling up. You got this little area as I put in as an homage to the base that this was originally going to be. Over here I have the Republic Commando shooting off a mortar cannon, which has a bunch of clear studs coming out to show the mortar coming off, even a bit of fire coming out of it, shooting into the sky towards the crab droid, the Droideka. You got the rocket also going towards one of the crab droid's legs from this clone. And Jesse's standing right behind these boxes here. Also, I try to add a detail. There's some brown trying to show a bit of depth because how this is built, like the base, I wasn't able to like make any depth in it really. So, to try and make some depth, I added brown because it looks like it's a darker version of maroon. So it looks more like they have a trench there. But anyway, there's also a chunk of rock there. So it's boxes, chunk of rock, mortar cannon, chunk of rock, chain, guy holding the thing there. So, yeah. These crates are I got them from the Imperial Armored Marauder. They're empty. Translated, it says cargo in Arabic there, C-A-R-G-O, funnily enough, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, last things to point out, I have these little spires of rock here and over here on the edges. I thought they would look cool, and I think they do. And really, sometimes I display it like this, but because of this, it doesn't look really good. But on the droid side, it looks pretty good. Then from here, it looks really good, so yeah. That's pretty much the whole MOC. And last but certainly not least, I just want to say thank you to all for supporting my channel, and I really hope you enjoyed this after the build-up of, what is it, like 6 months? Maybe it's like 7 or something, 6 or 7 months since I first showed you guys this. Jeez, that was a long time ago. But yeah, I really hope you guys liked the final result. If there's anything specifically you like about this that you want me to go more in-depth with, I can make a follow-up. And leave me your suggestions for MOCs or dioramas or whatever in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. I've been that LEGO guy, and see you next time. Bye.